Human soup. Noah and Sophia were friends at the university. Their friendship was quickly becoming love, but that was not like the other narrow-minded kids' relationship. After graduation, they had stayed in the city and got married. Sophia was from an unhappy family. When she was little, her father drank every day and badly hit her and her mother afterward. Those bad memories had obsessed her, even though her parents got devoted. Sophia moved and lived with her mother, but she could not forget those bad days, days of being abusive. That's why she was unable to open up to anyone and always got an insecure feeling. That might be why she was being with Noah. She was so dependent on her boyfriend that she could not live without him even a sec. When she was not with Noah, she would consecutively text or call him to check him out. Noah had a warm and sweet heart. He was not aware of what his girlfriend went through in the past. Sometimes, he felt she was kittenish and controlled him too much. But he thought it was simply girly of her and would report in detail where he was and what he was doing to his girlfriend. After 2 years of marriage, Sophia and Noah saved enough money, and thanks to their family's support, they could buy a house near the ring road and started their sweet home there. After Sophia had pregnant their first child, Noah tried harder to work. Quickly, he could open his circle and business. With his clear-headedness, his director had handed him an excellent opportunity to handle an important project. If he wanted the project to be successful, he had to improve marketing. Noah had to give all his efforts in it. In the last 4 days, Noah decided to stay overnight at the company to focus on the project. Noah knew that his wife would not agree to his decision. Still, he had no other solution because his partner was in the US, which the time zone was different than his current location. He had to stay over to make sure he could be there when needed. There were calls and online meetings at midnight. On the first night, Sophia called him in tears. "Honey, please come home soon. I'm scared of being alone. Honey, I need to focus on this project. You know, this is very important to me, to us. Give me a few days, just 4 days, honey." Noah tried to explain to his wife. "I always have my phone with me. Call me when you miss me. I'll come home instantly once everything is done to have your homemade soup." Noah hung up the phone. He knew that it was rude to let Sophia alone home, but there was nothing he could do. He hoped Sophia could be braver. She was nearly a mother, she had to be strong. The following days, he called home and felt his wife's situation wasn't good. Even it was negative, he was worried. Still, shortly he had been distracted by his large amount of works. On the 4th night, Noah called his wife, but she didn't pick up the phone. He tried to call her back 4 more times, but no one picked up the phone. He got butterflies in his stomach. She wouldn't be able to sleep if she didn't hear his voice. Why she could sleep in such that early? But then, he had been asked to go to the director's room. He temporarily set his wife aside and back to his work. 9 a.m. in the following morning, he received good news from his partner from the US. His project got certified. Noah stepped out of the office and gave a relief sign. After days of concentration, he got paid off. He would have some time for relaxation. Suddenly, there was someone's hand put on his shoulder. Noah turned back and realized that was his chairman, Mr. William. Mr. William could not hide his happiness in his face. Noah could see the trust sparkle in the chairman's eyes. The chairman was appreciated what Noah had contributed to the company. His one project would bring a great benefit to the company and affirmed his ability. "Noah, this was all on you. It was such a hard time for you. Good job. You have stayed over here for days. Let's have some days off to take a rest home. Your wife must have been worried sick." He approved for Noah's days off to take a rest after the stressful works. Right after hearing, "wife," Noah turned pale. He was too busy to remember about his kittenish wife being home alone. He remembered she had neglected his call the day before. His heart was bouncing faster, he worried for his wife. Noah took on his phone and called his wife. The worries disappeared once he heard his wife's voice over the phone. "Hey, honey." But the voice sounded small. She was likely to stand a few meters from the phone. Noah overlooked that abnormal detail. He asked his wife, "Honey, why didn't you call me back yesterday? I called you, but you didn't pick up. You have gone to sleep early, or you are sick." Sophia didn't reply. There was a big silence. Noah thought that his wife was unhappy with him, so he comforted her with good news. "Honey, the director allowed me to take some days off. I'm going to come home real quick. Are you gonna cook me my favorite soup? I wanna eat that soup." At that moment, there was a reply from the other end of the phone. That was really Sophia's voice, but it seemed she was panicking. "Yes, sure, I'll make you a soup." After then, he heard a noise consequence on the phone. Then Sophia hung up. Even Noah sensed something abnormal. Still, all he thought about that time was coming home. Everything would be easier to be talked in person to his wife. As usual, he would take a bus home, but that day, he wanted to go home as quickly as possible, so he took a taxi, and shortly he reached home. "Honey, I'm home." Noah happily stepped into his house, but at that time, he felt that must have been something wrong. The temperature was slower than outside. He saw the conditioner was running in the living room. He gazed to the kitchen. His wife was sitting on the table and waiting for him. Noah gave her a sweet smile. "Honey, are you waiting for me? I'm home." Sophia faced down without a word and looked angry at him. Noah saw a bowl of soup on the table. Noah thought that everything must be okay since she had made him a soup already. "Oh, looks delicious. I'ma eats the soup." Noah decided to eat the soup first since he was starving. Seeing him eating the soup happily, his wife must have been happier. He was unable to stand in front of the good smell of soup. He held up the bowl and poured all the soup into his mouth. The soup was different. It was sourer than usual, so he could swallow it in one gulp. That was strange, as if there was magic to help him murder the soup, and he wanted to have another one. "Honey, what did you add to the soup today? It's so yummy." Noah turned to ask his wife, but she froze at that moment. He stood up and tended to pour another soup into his bowl. There was no light on in the kitchen. He saw a big pot on the gas stove. "Here the soup is," he thought, and opened the lid. He got panicked from what he could see. There was a human hand in the pot. He got nauseous. He turned around suddenly and saw his wife was lying on the ground. Tints of blood were all around her. He tried to widen his eyes to confirm if that was his wife, but that was really her on the ground. He quickly ran to his wife and shook her. "Sophia, Sophia. What happened?" Her face was pale, lifeless. She died for a while. Obviously, Noah saw there were lots of sleeping pills scattered next to her. He looked around. His wife's left hand was removed from her body. No way. That was her hand on the pot? At that moment, Noah was scared to death. He gazed his eyes to the table. He still saw Sophia sitting there, froze. She was immobilized, as same as a dead body. That robbed him of all of his strength. His legs were unable to stand up, and he fell to the ground. His heart got bouncer and bouncer. Everything went black in front of him. He tried to pick up his phone. He lost his consciousness and was unclear what he had done, who he had called. Once he woke up, he was at the hospital. There were 2 policemen right next to him. "Mr. Noah, I'm very sorry to tell you this sad news. Your wife, Sophia, died 2 days ago." One of them spoke up to Noah. "What? What are you talking about? I don't believe it. Why did my wife die? She wasn't sick or got an accident. Why?" Noah lost his control and screamed aloud. After waiting for Noah to calm down, they told him more in detail. We had investigated the scene and confirmed that your wife suicided by sleeping pills. They had read Sophia's diaries and found that Sophia had a major depressive disorder because of her past. Since she got pregnant, her depression got serious, she got insomnia, but she had not told her husband. 4 days of office working with her husband pushed her deep to collapse and depression. The only unexplainable details were about the hand on the soup pot after Sophia died, no sign of intruder in the house, and the hot soup as well, who had made that soup. After then, the case had been closed. People said that was Sophia who turned to be a ghost after she died and chopped her hand to cooking her husband the soup. She had picked up the phone and welcomed him home. But that was just a rumor, no one could verify it. Regarding Noah, he had been totally collapsed. After being out of the hospital, he got crazy and roamed around, such a poor man.